Hey everybody, I'm Danny Orr from New Balance Running, and we've been here with Running Warehouse today to talk to you about how excited we are about our two new track and field products, the MD-X and the SD-X. What I was hoping to do right now though is give you a little bit of a snapshot into some of the work that we did to get to the final product so that you can understand just how much we put into some of these things. You know, the time that we take to not only look at it from a product standpoint, but really try and understand the level of detail that we need from an athlete testing standpoint to get us to that final product. If we start on my left here on this end, you can see some of the initial prototypes that were firstly 5280s. This is an example of a first prototype of a 5280, something that Emma Coburn would have worn for the Fifth Avenue Mile. And what we realized when we looked at this initial shoe that was built off a track spike to start with was that we felt like there would be real opportunities to take the notion of what this shoe is and create a product that could work really well on the track. So you'll see even this instance here, some of these spikes are probably broken off over the time and over the testing, but we took that original 5280 work stream and put some spikes in it, got our athletes in it, and really try to understand their feedback as well as understand their performance in a shoe like this and how it could ultimately influence what that final product was. This is an example of one of the original 5280 midsoles. So not only did we think about it from a track spike perspective, but we also looked at this road product and went, is there something unique in that 5280 midsole with the level of traction that you might need on the bottom for a track spike to get us to ultimately where this finished product ended up. You know, a lot of you people out there will talk about this as a splat, right? And it is a splat for us too, where we've taken a road shoe and created, you know, some key track elements out of it. And I think what's been interesting about this is that our athletes have still liked it as a training solution just due to the level of cushioning that they have in the midsole, particularly as they're doing a lot of repetitions. They just ultimately recover a little bit faster and feel a little bit better. So the rest of these prototypes work in similar ways. In these instances, we were using 3D printing to look at a level of traction that you would really need in a track product. I think we probably felt that the traction piece maybe was a little bit overbuilt, and some of this work stream was just trying to understand exactly what you would need to make sure that you were maximizing that traction without adding additional elements that would maybe make the shoe heavy or not perform exactly as our athletes would want it to. From here, that led us into the final kind of midsoles and carbon fiber plates that ended up being in the final MD-X and SD-X. One of the things I spoke about a lot was the spikes and the fact that these are all part of the mold and not replaceable. You know, as we were looking at the spikes on the bottom of the shoe, one of the things that we constantly came back to is exactly how much you needed on the back side of the plate to make sure that the spikes could be replaced, and those wells were really adding a lot of weight and we're making the final product quite 4-foot heavy. And one of the things that we realized by removing that is that we could get it into a much sleeker package, reduce that weight while still maintaining all of the stiffness and traction that you would need within this one-piece carbon fiber bottom unit, and then coupling that with the really special FuelCell high energy return midsole. So, you know, we learned a lot in relation to all of these different products, and through all of these different stages, we got a ton of athlete feedback. And as I said at the beginning, the most important thing is the data related to ensuring that at the end of the day, we could be helping our athletes perform better in what finally became that MD-X and that SD-X.